Hi, I'm Shannon Cunningham, and I'm going to teach you how to drive a stick shift. So I'm going to start off by telling you the differences between a manual and an automatic. So first of all, an manual has a clutch, which is this pedal right here, and it has a stick shift, which is this right here, and the stick shift is used to change the gears. And so within a manual, you're going to always drive with 2 feet. So one is always going to be using the clutch, and your right foot is going to be using the gas and the brake. And so let's go to the stick shift. The stick shift, what this does is it changes gears much like a bicycle. So the lowest gears are used to start the car, and these are used for when you're going slowly, and the higher gears are for when you pick up speed. So in order to change a gear, the way that you do it is you always have to put the clutch in. Press the clutch in with your left foot, and this disengages all gears, and now you're able to move this around freely. So just like the map shows, this is first gear, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then of course reverse. So this is in the middle is neutral. So we're going to start off with a quick demonstration of how to get the car started. So when you get the car started, you always keep the clutch in as far as it will go. You go ahead, you turn the car on. I also have the brake pressed in. Turn the car on. So your car should always stay in first gear. It should never be in neutral when you're parked, or else it will roll away. So it's in first gear, and that's the gear that you always want to start off in when you start the car. So in order to get the car moving, it's a really tentative balance between releasing the clutch and pressing on the gas at the same time. And so manuals, they're always going to be a little bit different depending on the car you're in. So you have to let go of the clutch a little bit and press down on the gas at the same time, and you get moving. So now that I'm moving, and I want to switch gears, I have to disengage the first gear, so I press down in the clutch, move this to the second, and then I do the same thing where I release the clutch a little bit and then give it a little bit of gas. And this balance of releasing the clutch and engaging the gas is a lot more like finicky in the first couple gears, but it gets a lot easier as you move on, and you don't have to worry about the balance as much when you move on to the further gears. So now I'm also going to demonstrate how to go in reverse, just so you can get the general idea. So I turn the car on, I have the clutch all the way down, brake on. It's in first gear, so I just go ahead, move it back to the middle. Now it's in neutral, all the way to the right and back. And now I slowly let out the clutch and slowly push the gas down, and we're going backwards. Okay. So another perk to driving stick shift is that when you're driving at higher speeds, you're obviously going to be in a higher gear, right? So when you want to slow down, you can simply slow down just by switching into a lower gear, and this is called downshifting. So I will give you a demonstration. Cut. So now that I'm in fourth gear right here, and I would like to slow down, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the clutch in again, move to third gear, and then slowly just let out the clutch, and the car will begin to slow down a little bit. And that's an example of how you can downshift. So another thing that is a big deal when you're driving stick shift is when you're on a hill, it's a little bit harder to get started. So if I let go of the brake, I'm on an incline right now. If I let go of the brake, we're going to start to roll backwards. So you put the brake on, put it in gear, and this one's a little bit harder. You have to really be careful. You have to really release the clutch, kind of get that going, and then press the gas. There. So what happens if you don't release the clutch the correct way, if you release it too fast? You do what's called stalling out. So here's an example. The entire car just shuts down. So when you're a beginner, this will often happen a lot, but once you get that good balance of releasing the clutch and putting on the gas, you won't stall out as much. Another thing that will also cause you to stall out is if you are in too high of a gear while you're driving and you slow down too much without switching into a lower gear. So say I'm going about 40 miles per hour and I'm in fifth gear, and then I start to slow down and I go down to like about 20 miles per hour, but I stay in fifth gear. That's going to be too much, that's too hard on the car, so that is going to cause the car to stall out. So I hope this gave you some insight on how to drive a stick shift. It's really a good skill to pick up at some point, so if you ever can, I would practice if you can get your hands on a manual car. And thank you for watching.